Good morning everyone, welcome back, welcome to a stunning day in the northwest of Scotland. In this video we're going to be exploring some of the most remote coastline in the whole of the UK and fishing from islands which have likely never had a lure cast into them before. Welcome back to the channel everyone, welcome to the 1000 subscriber special. My original plan with this island was, believe it or not, to walk the 2.5 miles, get as close as I possibly could to the island and then swim across. Luckily, I've seen my parents last weekend and they've sorted me out with a nice piece of kit, which is going to mean that I do not have to get wet today. Have a look at this. So I understand that the Challenger looks like a very high-tech piece of kit. Unfortunately, it isn't as good as it looks. It'll get me there, but there are a few issues. First one, can you hear that? There's air leaking out of it, and that's coming out at quite a rate, so I think that the pump's gonna have to come across with me to the island. Is it gonna be able to make it to the island? Only time will tell. I'm not certain if this is going to be the easiest ride of my life, but it should be doable. So on the way up here, I noticed there was a ton of langoustine pots. So what I've actually done is I've brought my own one up and I've just strapped a full collie on there. Now I'm going to chuck this in here now, and on the way back we'll have a look, see if we can get some langoustines, maybe some lobsters for dinner. Hope you can see the colour of that water. That is just incredible. The viz there must be at least 10 metres, that's crystal. Success! Nearly just turned it. Success! We're on the water. Started to push in and I'm having to paddle against the tide, so I'm going really slowly and putting a lot of energy into it, and I'm actually having to fight against my drone battery. My drone's on 36% and I'm not going to land it on the water, so I need to make it into onto the island by the time that hits zero, which is unfortunately decreasing rapidly. Well, I finally made it to the island. All I'm going to do now is actually get onto the island, which may sound easy but really isn't on these kayaks. My drone's on critically low battery. I'm just going to get wet. Oh dear. Oh my god. Need a wave. Here we go. We are soaking wet, but it's alright. Right. Gotta land this drone now. I don't know if you can see that there guys, but that's my paddle. I had to land my drone and I must have chucked it too close to the water or something. A wave's taking it in. I'm gonna have to go in for that. I'm gonna have to. Jesus, that was close. Success. That is Baltic. Blimey. Thank God they float. All right then everyone, well that getting onto the island bit turned out to be a little bit carnage, didn't it? I'm up on the top of the island now and I have just spent a couple of minutes just having a bit of food, setting up my gear. We're fully set up now, we're about to get a rod in the water. I'm going to start off fishing the shallower channels on this side, targeting these kelp beds, just with little lures, just to see if there are pollock, wrasse maybe, coalies, anything down there knocking about. Today what I'm after is really anything that bites. I mean, up here is renowned for the pollock. In the summertime you can get huge hordes of pollock and you'll be getting a fish pretty much every single chuck. This time of year I'm not 100%. Let's get fishing. Right, that there looks like a nice platform. Here we go, first cast. So I'll just chuck it straight into the middle of this channel. That should do right there. And I'm not sure how deep we are fishing here, but it seems to drop off even in this channel, so it's some really deep water. I mean, look at this, guys. What a stunning place that this is. This is probably the most beautiful place I've ever been to, let alone fished. You almost get a feeling like you're pioneering, you know? You're the first person to kind of discover this place, the first person to be here, because you're just so far into the wilderness. The roads that I've come on to get down here, I've been down like 25, 30-mile roads with not a car in sight. I mean, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? Not a car for 20, 30 miles. It's incredible. And then you come to a place like this and it's just breathtaking, isn't it? I think that we're kind of getting to the point where we've established there aren't any fish in these shallower waters, or any fish willing to take the razor claw anyway. So I think we're going to go head over to the other side of the island, which is a totally different ball game. I'll tell you about that when we get there, but it's a very, very different, like, kind of area. So here we go, guys, the other side of the island. I'm figuring out now that it's actually quite difficult to fish this. It's insanely deep. Literally 10 meters away from me here is 20 meters of water. You don't only get this on Scottish islands, actually. It's a lot of the Scottish west coast is just land and then deep water, literally right on the shore, which I can only really compare to somewhere like Norway. It's great for this time of year because at this time of year the fish will be living in much deeper water because the sea is a more constant temperature in the deep water. In the shallow water, it's going to be on average a lot cooler. The deep water holds its temperature over the winter months. So I'm hoping that fishing right on the sea floor in 20 meters of water is going to be where some of the bigger fish are and where the majority of the fish are. So let's just keep fishing on. We've still got a fair bit of that sun to go down as well. It's getting dark nice and late at the moment. It's getting dark at around about 6 o'clock, so we've got loads of time. So as of yet, the lure fishing hasn't been going exactly fantastically, but some of you may have noticed that I actually brought another rod with me on the kayak. I brought my 14-foot beach casting rod, and what I'm going to do with this is I've just knocked up a couple of rigs here, and this is what I've come up with. So this is my like kind of attempt at a dongle. Definitely not expert, but hopefully it'll be able to get out there and present a bait all right. So I'm just going to whack some mackerel onto that, and I'm going to actually, believe it or not, try for some sharks, try for some bullhuss, maybe some spur dog, smooth hounds, god knows. So there we go, guys, that's your dongle. Definitely not totally confident in it, but I think with a wire trace it should be able to land a decent fish. So one other thing, I have been practicing my pendulum casting, so I'll show you how it's going, and give me a bit of feedback. Tell me what I'm doing wrong, tell me how to improve on it. Okay, so in all fairness, this will be my first attempt at a pendulum with a 7-ounce gripper, with bait as well. I've been doing them with 5 ounces, so it's going to get a little bit hairy. I just hope this rig isn't going to snap on me, this dongle. Went some decent distance. Sounded a bit like my rod nearly snapped in half, but it's out there. Dongle survived. Ideal. Well then, guys, so I've given it about 4 hours on this island already. We haven't had any fish yet, which I almost kind of expected because the start of March is probably the worst time of year you could actually fish. I haven't brought the bait rod in yet. I haven't seen any bites, but there's definitely a chance. Got a bit of slack in the line, I imagine from the tide, but it might be a fish. So we're going to give that a quick check, head over to the point, give the point about an hour and a half, and then we'll be heading back to check the lobster pot. Having a day like this is a lot about just exploring new areas, getting an idea of where's going to be good to fish in the summer, and just trying out new stuff really, which almost always makes an absolutely brilliant day. So it's been a fantastic day as of yet. It would be made 10 times better if we caught a fish, but you never know. Let's just see. Getting a fish now would be unbelievable and would make this an ultimate video, I would have said. Just, we need that one fish. Straight in a snag. Oh dear, well, we've lost the whole lot. All right guys, we've got a fish on. We've got a fish on. And it's an all right fish. Blimey heck. This has been cut to the absolute last string. We might have lost this. No, it's still on. It's still on. Come on. God, when he fights hard. I think this is going to be a little pollock, this. It is. Absolutely beautiful. Yes. Look at that, guys. That is a cracking pollock. Well, there we go, guys. That is just an absolutely stunning pollock. Almost forgotten how beautiful they were. That is an absolute stunner. Look at that beauty. Right, this fish here, guys, this fish is for you. Every single one of you that have ever liked one of my videos, I've hit that subscribe button, even the ones that have watched my videos, anybody that enjoys the content, comments on my videos especially, just want to say a massive thank you to every single one of you. I would not be doing this today if it wasn't for every single one of yous lot. You know, a lot of effort and a lot of time goes into these videos, and it is time that I wouldn't bother putting in if it wasn't for the fantastic support which I get from them. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching my content and engaging with it. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing this, and this one is for 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, every single one of you. Let's get this beautiful pollock back into the ocean where it belongs. Alright then guys, well, I stayed for another hour after that fish, kind of because you have to, but gonna have to make my way back, clear up all this crap. Look at this absolute state I made. My own island though. Who's gonna tell me off for it? So head back, check the lobster pot. I'll see you next at the lobster pot. Alright, well, I'm just getting to the pot, it's just here. I tell you what though, that journey's been an absolute nightmare. I've been against the wind the whole way. Look at the wind directly in my face, and it was strong out there, so that's taken a lot more time and a lot more effort than I'd hoped. Right, what I'm hoping for with this pot is that the seals haven't mauled it to death, because there we go, listen to that. I'll swing around, look at that, just a load of seals that just dived under. It'd be awesome if we get something good. Oh, well, I see a crab. Oh my god, Jesus, listen to them. Ugh. Get over that. That's ridiculous. Absolutely zero choline left whatsoever. Well, at this point I'm almost wishing I became a crab tuber. There's got to be at least one peeler in there. Look at that. It's madness. Well then guys, that's going to be the lot. Couldn't find any easy peelers, so I just sacked that off. I mean, overall, what an absolutely fantastic day this has been. Hope you guys have enjoyed coming along with me. This summer I hope to do all sorts of stuff like this, so if you're enjoying the videos, please leave a comment, tell me the crack, tell me how to improve at any point you like. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.